Hare Krishna, welcome all of you for today's Srimad Bhagavatam session. Let us begin with prayers. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Creation, Chapter 7, entitled The Son of Drona Punished. We were discussing the Atma Rama verse in the previous session, and I had told that there are some more interesting points that we need to discuss. So we will just see a few points. We will read the verse and translation once again. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 7, Text 10. Suta Uvacha Atma Ramascha Munayo Nirgrantha Api Urukrame Kurvantyahitukim Bhaktim Itham Bhuta Guno Harihi. Translation by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. All different varieties of Atma Ramas, those who take pleasure in Atma or spirit self, especially those established on the path of self realization, though freed from all kinds of material bondage, desire to render unalloyed devotional service unto the personality of Godhead. This means that the Lord possesses transcendental qualities and therefore can attract everyone, including liberated souls. So, the question was asked that Shukadev Goswami was a liberated soul by birth, and he was fully fixed up in self realization. He was a self realized soul. He was in the Brahman platform. But still, why did he take the trouble of studying Srimad Bhagavatam under the guidance of his father, Vyasadeva? That was a question asked. The purpose of this question is that Shukadev Goswami had nothing to achieve. He had no hankerings because he was fully fixed up on the spiritual platform. Still, what made him think that he should study Srimad Bhagavatam? That is a question. If somebody is already self situated, self satisfied, Atma Rama, he will have no hankerings. Why did he develop this urge to hear Srimad Bhagavatam? That is the question. And the reply to this question is given in this shloka, the famous Atma Rama shloka, saying that even those who are Atma Ramas or self situated, self realized personalities who take pleasure in the self only, they also get attracted to Krishna and render devotional service to Krishna because such are the wonderful transcendental qualities of Krishna. So the answer to the question is Krishna is all attractive. He attracts even the attention of the self realized personalities. That is the understanding. So, there are various names of Krishna, and the name used in this particular shloka is Hari. Harati iti Harihi. That is a definition of the word Hari. Harati, one who takes away. He is called Hari. What does Hari take away? He takes away the unwanted habits of a devotee. He takes away everything that is inauspicious from the path of his devotees. Therefore, he is called Hari. So, what is inauspicious for a personality in this material world? Anything that does not help one to become attracted to Krishna, that is inauspicious. In fact, the very existence of our existence in this current situation in the material world itself is inauspicious. Why it is inauspicious? Because every moment we are immersed in bodily concept of life. Every moment we are conscious that we are the body. Every moment we are hankering after sense enjoyment, and this is going to uh, increase our imprisonment term in this material world. So that is inauspicious. So nothing is actually auspicious in this material world in our current conditioned state of existence, save and accept remembrance of Krishna, save and accept service to Krishna and the pure devotees of Krishna. That is the only auspicious thing. So everything that is inauspicious from the life of a devotee, Krishna takes away those inauspicious things. Therefore, Krishna is called as Hari. And this is very nicely demonstrated in the pastime of the deliverance of Bali Maharaj by Vamana Deva. Bali Maharaj was asked by Vamana Deva 3 paces of land, and Bali Maharaj gave, he made a sankalpa to give the charity of 3 paces of land to Vamana, in spite of his Guru Shukracharya stopping him, warning him. But Bali Maharaj, he said, if the Supreme Lord himself has come and he is begging something from me, how can I deny? Now, this is the symptom of a devotee. Even though Bali Maharaj was born in a demoniac family, and even though he knew by the warning of his Guru Shukracharya that Krishna will take away everything, Vamana will take away everything from him, still Bali Maharaj did not go back on his words. Instead, he rejected the instructions of Shukracharya. He rejected Shukracharya as his Guru. So, the lesson from this is when Krishna decides to show mercy upon a devotee, Krishna gives us the intelligence to choose what is favorable for bhakti, to remove all those things which are unfavorable for bhakti. Bali Maharaj is a pure devotee, but apparently he was placed under a non devotee personality who happened to be the guru of the demons. So that Asat Sangha is inauspicious for a devotee. So Bali Maharaj was actually performing those yajnas under the guidance of Shukracharya. And Shukracharya is Vishnu Dveshi. He is envious towards the Supreme Lord. So therefore it is an incompatible situation. But Bali Maharaj is a sincere devotee. Therefore Vamana Deva first of all created a situation for Bali Maharaj to reject his non bona fide spiritual master who is not a devotee. Unless one is a devotee of the Lord, pure devotee of the Lord, one cannot assume the post of spiritual master. So, anyway, so Shukracharya was rejected by, by Bali Maharaj. There is no history in the Vedic, if you study the entire Vedas, you will not find a history, you will not find a single instance except for this instance where a disciple has rejected his guru. A disciple has to simply follow the guru's orders as his life and soul. That is the meaning of accepting guru. But here, the guru himself is misleading. The guru is supposed to teach the disciple how to surrender to Krishna. Now, when Krishna himself has come and the disciple is ready to surrender to Krishna, the guru is telling, don't surrender to Krishna. Now, that means he is violating the duty of guru. He is not fit to be a guru. Therefore, Bali Maharaj rejected Shukracharya. So that is the first removal of inauspiciousness. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asked, what is the prime duty of a Vaishnava? Mahaprabhu replied, Asat Sanga Tyaga Ei Vaishnava Achar. Giving up Asat Sangha is the prime duty of every aspiring devotee, of every Vaishnava. So Bali Maharaj did that. He gave up his connection with the non-devotee spiritual master, so-called spiritual master, Shukracharya. So first thing that happened. Next, when Vamana Deva said, two paces of my, I have measured the entire universe with my two steps. Where shall I keep the third step? So Bali Maharaj realized that how tiny he is. So the Lord, by taking away everything that Bali Maharaj had, the Lord took away the inauspicious thing called pride from Bali Maharaja's heart. That is why he is Hari. He takes away everything that is inauspicious. Huh? So Bali Maharaj was thinking, initially he told, when Vamana Deva said, I just want 3 paces of land, Bali Maharaj said, oh, what is this? He laughed actually. He said, you have come to the emperor of the whole universe. All the planetary systems are under my control. Why are you asking only 3 paces of land? You should ask, something very big. That shows his pride and false ego. Our material possessions make us think that we are the supreme proprietor. We forget that actually everything is owned and controlled by the Supreme Lord. Krishna is the supreme proprietor. He is Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Because of the influence of false ego, coupled with bad association, we start thinking that I am the real proprietor of everything that I possess. So Krishna did not like this. Bali Maharaj is such a nice devotee. He has got the qualities of my devotee Prahlad Maharaj. Bali Maharaj happened to be the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. So he had inherited certain qualities from him, and he was also a devotee. But he is having this pride. So I don't like my devotees to be proud of anything. Therefore, let me take away his pride. So Krishna forcefully, Vamana Deva forcefully took away all the possessions of Bali Maharaj in a moment's notice, thus stripping him away of all his pride. Now that is why Krishna is Hari. He takes away everything that is inauspicious. And another important thing is, when Vamana asked, where shall I place my third step? Now Bali Maharaj said, please place it on my head. What is that representing? So giving up Mamakara is easy, but giving up Ahankara is not easy. Mamakara means my possessions. This is mine. These people are mine. Giving away that is in one way easier, but giving away that feeling that I am great, I am something. No, that is Ahankara. Now, that is not easier. So Krishna did not want even a bit of Ahankara to remain in Bali Maharaj. Therefore, he created a situation where Bali Maharaj became bereft of all Mamakara. The next thing that Krishna had his eye on was his Ahankara. I am this body, I am so strong, I am the emperor, I have so many abilities. Krishna wanted to strip away the pride caused by these things in Bali Maharaja's heart. Therefore, Krishna placed his third step on the head of Bali Maharaj and said, you please go down to Patala Loka, Rasatala, one of the lower planets, which is actually designated for the demons to live. That means Krishna wants his devotees to know where they belong to. Don't think too much about yourself. Where you stand, realize that. For everybody, there is a place Krishna has created. Krishna has in his scheme of things. One should not think oneself high about oneself, and one should not go against the Lord's designated plan. In the Lord's scheme of things, the demons are supposed to live in the lower planetary systems. So you go and live there. I've already created one place for you. So this is called putting people in their place. Putting people in their place. So this is also very important. Sometimes we start thinking, oh, I am such a nice devotee. From so many years I am practicing Krishna consciousness. I should get to sit in a place. Let's say there is Abhishekam happening in the temple, and I am a senior folk member. Oh, I should go and sit in the front because I am senior. These kind of right-seeking mentality. It is simply a reflection of our ahankara. First of all, we should think that I am so fortunate that at least I am able to see a few glimpses of the Abhishekam. I actually am such a fallen soul. My consciousness is so low. Somehow, by devotees' mercy, by Prabhupada's mercy, at least I am here today on this auspicious occasion in the temple. That should be our mood. Not that, oh, why I am not given special privilege? Why I am not given this? Why this? So, this right seeking mentality is simply stemming from ahankara. So, therefore, we should always remind ourselves Krishna does not like these kinds of thoughts in our heart. In fact, our heart should be filled with gratitude. Oh, there are so many people on the day of Janmashtami, they have not got an opportunity to come to temple even. But I'm so fortunate. I'm engaged in service of the Lord in the temple. I'm able to celebrate the festival in the association of the Lord by hearing the holy name, Sankirtana, and I'm in the temple. So I'm so fortunate. So instead of having our heart filled with these feelings of gratitude, our mind focuses on things which are not okay. So apparently, that is all material calculation stemming up from false ego. So therefore, the point is, uh, Krishna does not like these kinds of thoughts to be brewing in our consciousness, in our minds. That is a very important thing. So the moment Krishna notices such things, then Krishna puts us in place. He shows us what is our real position through the devotees, through various instances, through circumstances. So that is why Krishna is called Hari. So, Itham Bhuta Guno Harihi. Hari is an ocean of transcendental qualities. And one of the most important qualities of Hari is that he takes away all that is inauspicious from the life of a devotee. So that is why the Lord is really our well wisher. He is really our well wisher because he arranges for removal of all inauspicious things in our life so that we can quickly make spiritual advancement and go back to Godhead. So we should understand that we are in Krishna consciousness, we are going through a process of purification, and during purification, it is not a very nice experience because suppose you go to the doctor gives you injection. Now that is very painful, but that pain we have to tolerate so that we can become fully cured of our disease. If you say, no, 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 this pain of treatment I don't want to go through, still I want to become cured of my disease, then it is not possible. So, to be saved from a bigger problem, we have to tolerate words of chastisement by devotees. Now, that's the treatment. We have to cooperate with the devotees. So, that is Hari's plan. Yesterday, somebody was asking to me in the temple, Prabhu, I came to do service, but this devotee scolded me. This devotee chastised me. How should I perceive this? First of all, I congratulated him, saying that at least you are thinking how to perceive this. Now, that's the quality of a sincere devotee, progressive devotee. The devotee did not say, oh, I came from so far away to do service, and this devotee scolded me, I will go away, I don't want service. No, that's the easiest thing to do. But you are losing the opportunity to serve the Lord, isn't it? So, therefore, I was telling that when you go to a cow, the cow gives you milk. That is the reason you are going to the cow, to milk the cow. But along with the milk, you also get sometimes kickings of the cow. So you have to tolerate the kickings of the cow also if you want the milk. In the same way, when you go to devotees, you go for service, you go for association, you go for prasadam. These are all nice things for which you are going to a devotee. But along with that, you will get special mercy, chastisement. That we don't like. We want to avoid that. We only want what is pleasing to our mind. But the devotee, uh, who is a representative of the spiritual master, he tries to see our overall growth. Okay, yes, I should give association, I should give prasadam. I should also correct the devotee when he is wrong. We should know that when a devotee is correcting us, of course, different devotee may have different ways of correcting. Some devotees may correct in a soft manner. Some devotees may be little harsh. But the intention we have to understand. The intention is no one has any personal agenda here against anyone. The devotee only wants us to make progress by understanding things properly and developing Vaishnava qualities. How many people in this world have this opportunity to interact with devotees and to serve the Lord under the guidance of devotees? So I said that devotee, you are very fortunate. You are getting this kind of corrections, which is for your good. So then he was able to understand the proper way of perceiving it. So the point is, Hari, when you go to Hari or Hari's devotees, you know, you will get many good things, which is in line with what your mind and body want. You will get nice darshan, you will get nice prasadam, you will get to hear nice Krishna katha, you will get all these things. Seva, you will get all these things you will get. But you will also get things which are not very palatable sometimes. Words of chastisement. But we should know it is a package. It is for my purification. It is like the injection pain that the doctor is giving me for my good. So if you don't have this spiritual context, we will be the greatest losers. So that is the meaning of the word Hari. Hari Bol, we say every day. Correct? In the Kirtan we say Hari Bol means what? Oh Lord, take away everything which is inauspicious from me. You're calling out to the Lord. You're also telling others also, please call out Hari, Hari, Hari. Call out. And you're also calling out Hari. So when you're calling out Hari, 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 so Hari has to do his part of taking away inauspicious things from us. And sometimes it is not very pleasant experience. But we should know Hari is working. Whenever we feel some heavy words of chastisement, we should remember Hari. Oh, Hari is working. Hari is taking away inauspicious things. My mind is not liking it, but it is for the soul's betterment. Hari and his devotees do what is best for the soul, not what is best for the mind. So this we have to remember. So Hari's wonderful qualities are so attractive that even transcendentalists like Shukadev Goswami, they get attracted to hearing Bhagavatam. That is the reason why Shukadev Goswami took up the trouble of reading Bhagavatam, hearing Bhagavatam from Vyasadeva. Why I am saying it is trouble of hearing, why Prabhupada also says it is trouble. It is trouble for a elevated soul like Shukadev Goswami, who already knows the entire Vedic literature, the essence of all the scriptures, he knows it. And he has no aspirations. He has no material hankerings. But still, he sat down patiently under the guidance of his learned father Vyasadeva and heard the entire Bhagavatam. Just like if somebody is a professor from Harvard, he's already well versed in a subject matter, but still, suppose he sits down and hears to another advanced lecturer, professor's lecture. Oh, that means we should know. See, he already knows all these concepts. Still, he is sitting such in a humble manner, and he is hearing. That means there must be something more that he wants to know. Something more is attracting his attention. That is the understanding. So therefore, in that sense, it's a trouble, right? For him, for advanced devotees, for advanced personalities like Shukadeva Goswami. Okay, so let us go to the next shloka, text 11. Harer Gunakshipta Matihi Bhagavan Badarayanihi Adhyagan Mahadakhyanam Nityam Vishnu Jana Priyaha. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation: Suta Goswami continued. Srila Shukadeva Goswami, son of Srila Vyasadeva, was not only transcendentally powerful, he was also very dear to the devotees of the Lord. Thus, he underwent the study of this great narration, Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, the other reason is mentioned in this shloka. Why Shukadeva Goswami took up the study of Bhagavatam? Why? Because he is Harer Gunakshipta Matihi. His Matihi, his mind, is Akshipta, is fully absorbed in Harer Guna, the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, Krishna. And he is Nityam Vishnu Jana Priyaha. Vishnu Jana means the devotees of Lord Vishnu. Priyaha, his beloved. He is very dear to the devotees of the Lord. And he is powerful. The word Bhagavan is used to refer to him. Means he is very powerful. Badarayani means the son of Badarayana. Badarayana is another name of Vyasadeva. So his son is Badarayani, Shukadeva Goswami. That is why Adhyagan Mahadakhyanam, Adhyagan, he underwent studies of this Mahat Akhyanam, the great narration of Shukadeva Goswami. So why did he study Bhagavatam, the great narration of Bhagavatam? Because he was Vishnu Jana Priyaha and he was transcendentally powerful. Therefore, he actually took up the study of Bhagavatam. Let's read the purport. Purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. According to Brahma Vaivarta Purana, Srila Shukadeva Goswami was a liberated soul even within the womb of his mother. Srila Vyasadeva knew that the child after his birth would not stay at home. Therefore, he, Vyasadeva, impressed upon him the synopsis of the Bhagavatam so that the child could be made attached to the transcendental activities of the Lord. After his birth, the child was still more educated in the subject of the Bhagavatam by recitation of the actual poems. The idea is that generally the liberated soul are attached to the feature of the impersonal Brahman with a monistic view of becoming one with the Supreme Whole. But by the association of pure devotees like Vyasadeva, even the liberated soul becomes attracted to the transcendental qualities of the Lord. By the mercy of Sri Narada, Srila Vyasadeva was able to narrate the great epic of Srimad Bhagavatam. And by the mercy of Vyasadeva, Srila Shukadeva Goswami was able to grasp the import. The transcendental qualities of the Lord are so attractive that Srila Shukadeva Goswami became detached from being completely absorbed in impersonal Brahman and positively took up the personal activity of the Lord. Practically, he was thrown from the impersonal conception of the Absolute, thinking within himself that he had simply wasted so much time in devoting himself to the impersonal feature of the Supreme, or in other words, he realized more transcendental bliss with the personal feature than the impersonal. And from that time, not only did he himself become very dear to the Vishnu Janas or the devotees of the Lord, but also the Vishnu Janas became very dear to him. The devotees of the Lord who do not wish to kill the individuality of the living entities and who desire to become personal servitors of the Lord do not very much like the impersonalists, and similarly, the impersonalists who desire to become one with the Supreme are unable to evaluate the devotees of the Lord. Thus, from time immemorial, these two transcendental pilgrims have sometimes been competitors. In other words, each of them likes to keep separate from the other because of the ultimate personal and impersonal realizations. Therefore, it appears that Srila Shukadeva Goswami also had no liking for the devotees. But since he himself became a saturated devotee, He desired always the transcendental association of the Vishnu Janas, and the Vishnu Janas also liked his association since he became a personal Bhagavata. Thus, both the son and the father were completely cognizant of transcendental knowledge in Brahman, and afterwards both of them became absorbed in the personal features of the Supreme Lord. The question as to how Shukadev Goswami was attracted by the narration of the Bhagavatam is thus completely answered by this shloka. That means when Shukadev Goswami was in the womb of his mother, Vyasadeva, because Vyasadeva is a pure devotee of the Lord, he is personally the empowered incarnation of the Lord. So his father Vyasadeva was speaking on Bhagavatam, just like we hear in the seventh canto of Bhagavatam, how Narad Muni was speaking Bhagavatam to Prahlad Maharaj when he was in the womb of his mother Kayadu. In the same way, this Shukadev Goswami also had the privilege of hearing Bhagavatam from his learned father, Vyasadeva. So he had heard the synopsis of Bhagavatam. And as I had mentioned, for 16 years he was within the womb of his mother, fearing that when he comes out, he will become influenced by Maya. So that means he was a liberated soul even when he was in the womb. He was attached to the Brahman impersonal conception of the absolute truth. But when he heard Bhagavatam synopsis from his father, slowly he developed inclination towards the personal feature of the Lord. He developed attraction towards the transcendental qualities of the Lord and his devotional service. Now, this is the uh, power of association with a pure devotee. This verse we have heard many times from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Sadhu Sangha Sarva Shastra Kahe, Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hai. That means even a moment's association with a pure devotee of the Lord can help one attain the highest perfection. This is the declaration of all the scriptures. So we see that in action here between the dealings of Vyasadeva and his learned son, his self-realized son, Shukadev Goswami. Another point that Prabhupada mentions here is ever since, so there are two types of transcendentalists. One who are attached to the impersonal realization, the other one are the personalists, the devotees of the Lord. From time immemorial, there has always been debates and differences in opinion between these two classes of transcendentalists. While the impersonalists say that ultimately the absolute truth is formless and we have to simply cultivate jnana, knowledge about that impersonal absolute truth, and in that way we can become free from Maya. That is their contention. Whereas the devotees of the Lord say that no, ultimately the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the absolute truth. He is a person. And unless we develop loving relationship with the Supreme Personality, it is not possible for us to completely become free from the influence of Maya. Because Maya is under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the Supreme Lord is promising in the Bhagavad Gita, Mamevaye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. Only if you surrender to me, you can become free from the influence of Maya. This is Krishna's promise in the Bhagavad Gita. So there have been debates and discussions between the impersonalists and the personalists. And sometimes, they even don't like each other. They don't want to talk to each other. They maintain distance. Philosophically, they are different and they also maintain distance physically. So, but Shukadev Goswami, since he had already heard Bhagavatam, in his mother's womb, he had heard the synopsis, as Prabhupada explains in the purport. And after he was born, he heard the Bhagavatam verses. There are certain very beautiful verses of Bhagavatam which specifically attracted the attention of Shukadev Goswami. So we will discuss about it. And when he heard those verses, he gave up his impersonal conception completely and he devoted himself to the personality of Godhead Krishna. He became a personalist. And ever since then, he became Vishnu Jana Priyaha. He became a very, very dear to the devotees of the Supreme Lord who are attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In fact, this Bhagavatam is also very dear to the devotees of the Lord. The impersonalists, they don't relish Bhagavatam because Bhagavatam is full of personal reciprocations, personal activities, and attributes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which makes it very difficult for the impersonalists to understand and comprehend because fundamentally they think the absolute truth is formless, nameless. He is as though he is simply an energy. That is their understanding. So it is very difficult for the impersonalists to understand Bhagavatam. Whereas Shukadev Goswami, even though he was an impersonalist, by the mercy of the devotees of the Lord, especially his father Vyasadeva, he gave up his impersonal understanding, became attracted to Krishna, and he became well versed in Bhagavatam, so much so that he spoke the entire Bhagavatam that he had heard from his father Vyasadeva, along with his own personal realizations to Parikshit Maharaj on the banks of river Ganga. So this is the complete answer. This verse and the previous verse, the Atma Rama verse, together answers the question as to why Shukadev Goswami took up this study of Srimad Bhagavatam, even though he was Atma Rama, he was self-situated. Let's go to the next shloka, text 12. Parikshitotha rajarsher janma karma vilapanam samstham cha panduputranam vakshye krishna kathodayam. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Suta Goswami thus addressed the rishis headed by Shaunaka. Now I shall begin the transcendental narration of the Lord Sri Krishna and topics of the birth, activities, and deliverance of King Parikshit, the sage amongst kings, as well as topics of the renunciation of the worldly order by the sons of Pandu. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Lord Krishna is so kind to the fallen souls that he personally incarnates himself amongst the different kinds of living entities and takes part with them in daily activities. Any historical fact, old or new, which has a connection with the activities of the Lord, is to be understood as a transcendental narration of the Lord. Without Krishna, all the supplementary literatures like the Puranas and Mahabharata are simply stories or historical facts. But with Krishna, they become transcendental. And when we hear of them, we at once become transcendentally related with the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam is also a Purana, but the special significance of this Purana is that the activities of the Lord are central and not just supplementary historical facts. Srimad Bhagavatam is thus recommended by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the spotless Purana. There is a class of less intelligent devotees of the Bhagavata Purana who desire to relish at once the activities of the Lord narrated in the 10th canto without first understanding the primary cantos. They are under the false impression that the other cantos are not concerned with Krishna, and thus more foolishly than intelligently they take to the reading of the 10th canto. These readers are specifically told herein that the other cantos of the Bhagavatam are as important as the 10th canto. No one should try to go into the matters of the 10th canto without having thoroughly understood the purport of the other 9 cantos. Krishna and his pure devotees, like the Pandavas, are on the same plane. Krishna is not without his devotees of all the rasas, and the pure devotees, like the Pandavas, are not without Krishna. The devotees and the Lord are interlinked and they cannot be separated. Therefore, talks about them are all Krishna Katha or topics of the Lord. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. So, Suta Goswami, after answering the question about why Shukadev Goswami took up the study of Bhagavatam, now he continues to get into the subject matter of the Bhagavatam with the narration about Parikshit Maharaj. So he says, Parikshitotha Rajarshehe. So Parikshitaha, King Parikshit, He's called King Parikshit. He's also called Vishnu Rata. He's called Abhimanyu Sutaha. These are all different names of Maharaj Parikshit. He's the son of Abhimanyu, therefore he is Abhimanyu Sutta. He is Vishnu Rata because the Supreme Lord personally entered within the womb of his mother and protected him from Brahmastra. So he was personally protected by Lord Vishnu or Krishna, therefore he is called Vishnu Rata. And he is called Parikshit because he was examining everybody. Oh, I saw a wonderful, beautiful personality when I was in the womb of my mother. And after I after he took birth, he started, seeing everybody. I saw that wonderful person. Uh, is he this person whom I saw? Is he that person whom I saw? So he was examining each and every personality whom he was coming across, and he was checking whether he is Krishna or not. Therefore, he is called the great examiner, Parikshitaha. Parikshitaha means, Parikshit means the great examiner. He examined everybody, right? So that means Parikshit Maharaj is teaching us that we must be very, very careful in associating with people in this world. If a person has not got any connection with Krishna, better we stay away from such people. We should associate only with those who have got some connection with Krishna. That is the understanding with the name Parikshit. So Parikshitotha Rajarshehe, he is called Rajarshi. He is the king who was the Rishi. He is the sage among the kings. That means he was a saintly king. This word Rajarshi comes in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, in the beginning also, where Krishna talks about the Rajarshi Parampara. Imam vivasvate yogam proktavan aham avyayam vivasvan manave praha manurikshvakave bravit evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu. In this way, the saintly kings understood the Bhagavad Gita in the disciplic succession. So the word Rajarshi comes there. So Parikshit was a Rajarshi. Janma karma vilapanam. Vilapanam means deliverance. Janma, birth, karma, activities. Vilapanam, he's going back to Godhead. Samstham cha Panduputranam. Samstham means renunciation of the world. Panduputranam, the sons of Maharaj Pandu, that is the Pandavas. The timely retirement of the Pandavas, the renunciation of the Pandavas. Vakshye, I shall speak. Suta Goswami is saying, Vakshye, I shall speak. Krishna Katha Udayam, that which gives rise to the transcendental narration of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God. So, Suta Goswami is telling all the sages of Naimisharanya, headed by Shaunaka Rishi, that now I shall begin the transcendental narration, Krishna Katha of Lord Krishna. And what are the topics I'm going to talk about? I'm going to talk about Janma Karma Vilapayan Parikshito Rajarshehe. I'm going to talk about the birth, activities, and deliverance of King Parikshit, who was the sage amongst kings. And I'm also going to talk about Samstham cha Panduputranam, about the renunciation of the worldly order by the sons of Pandu. And all of these is going to lead to Krishna Katha. Krishna Kathodayam. Udayam means giving birth to, giving rise to. So Prabhupada very nicely explains in the purport that Krishna and his pure devotees are inseparable. They are interconnected. There is no Krishna without his pure devotees, and there are no pure devotees without Krishna. So talking about one will lead to the other, invariably. If you glorify the pure devotee of the Lord, you will land up into the topics connected with Krishna, and vice versa. When you're glorifying Krishna, you will also land up into the topics connected with the pure devotees of Krishna. So they are inseparable. Therefore, even though the book is called Bhagavatam, it is supposed to talk about Bhagavan, but it is going to talk about those also who are inseparably linked or connected with Bhagavan, who are known as Bhagavatas, the pure devotees of the Lord. That is why here Sutta Goswami is saying, I'm going to talk about the Pandavas and Parikshit Maharaj because they were inseparably connected with Krishna. And talking about them will lead us into the topics connected with Krishna. So therefore, there is no difference between glorifying Krishna and glorifying the pure devotees of Krishna. Both are Krishna Katha. Both are Krishna Katha. Yesterday we celebrated Vyasa Puja. We glorified the spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. Now, glorifying Srila Prabhupada is same as glorifying Krishna because when you start glorifying Srila Prabhupada, you will end up glorifying Krishna, isn't it? We say Srila Prabhupada traveled all over the world. What did he travel for? He traveled with the message of Lord Chaitanya. He gave the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. He established 108 temples of Krishna. He made everybody Krishna conscious. He made the hippies devotees of Krishna. He established Krishna consciousness even uh, in the hearts of materialistic sinful people, right? So we are glorifying Srila Prabhupada, but see how we are also glorifying Krishna by this. So this is the process. That is why when Mother Parvati asked Lord Shiva, what is the best form of worship? Lord Shiva replied, Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnor aradhanam param tasmat parataram devi tadiyanam samarchanam. Lord Shiva said, O Devi, the best form of worship, the topmost worship is worship of Lord Vishnu, but even greater than that is worship of the pure devotees of Lord Vishnu. So, worshipping the pure devotees of the Lord is one level higher than worshipping the Lord directly because the pure devotees are very, very merciful, and it is by their mercy that we can gain entry into the topics of Krishna. On our own, we cannot understand Krishna. The pure devotee spiritual master has to reveal about Krishna to us, his holy name, his form, his pastimes, his dham, his qualities. All of these are revealed to us by the pure devotee spiritual master. Therefore, we have to take shelter of the pure devotee spiritual master first and glorify him, which in turn leads us to the glorification of Krishna. Another point that Prabhupada mentions in the purport is when does a literature become transcendental? A literature becomes transcendental when we hear, when it is connected with Krishna. Hmm? When it is connected with Krishna, when it is describing about Krishna, then a literature becomes transcendental. So here Prabhupada writes, any historical fact, old or new, which has a connection with the activities of the Lord, is to be understood as a transcendental narration of the Lord. Without Krishna, all the supplementary literatures like the Puranas and Mahabharata are simply stories or historical facts. But with Krishna, they become transcendental. And when we hear of them, we at once become transcendentally related with the Lord. So, the Srimad Bhagavatam is also a Purana, but the special significance of this Purana is that the activities of the Lord are central and not just supplementary historical facts. This is very important. If you compare the Mahabharata and Srimad Bhagavatam, this is one striking difference. No doubt Mahabharata talks about Krishna, Krishna's activities, his involvement uh, in the lives of the Pandavas, and eventually Krishna's involvement in ensuring that the Pandavas emerge victorious on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. All these descriptions are there, but the central point in Mahabharata is not Krishna. It's not Krishna. The central point in Mahabharata is the conflict between dharma and adharma. More emphasis is given to the four purusharthas in Mahabharata: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. And towards the end of Mahabharata, there is something called Harivamsha, which is called the Kila Bhaga of Mahabharata. Kila means It is like an appendix. It is like a supplement to Mahabharata. And in that Harivamsha, description is given about Krishna's pastimes right from his childhood uh, throughout his all his pastimes. So Krishna's pastimes are not the central part of Mahabharata. It is a supplement. It is a Kila Bhaga, Harivamsha, it is called. Kila Bhaga of Mahabharata. Whereas Srimad Bhagavatam, it is not giving emphasis on Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, because Bhagavatam says that rendering devotional service to Krishna is higher than moksha. And in Bhagavatam, from the beginning till the end, only narrations about Krishna's pastimes are highlighted. That is the central point. And that is why Srimad Bhagavatam, it is much superior to Mahabharata. Of course, Mahabharata is also a transcendental literature because it is connected with Krishna, as it is mentioned here by Prabhupada. Any literature which is dealing with the activities of Krishna is a transcendental literature. Whereas the main difference between Bhagavatam and Mahabharata is in Mahabharata, Krishna's pastimes take a secondary position, whereas in Bhagavatam, from beginning till the end, the main subject matter is Krishna's activities, his reciprocation with his loving devotees. That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommended study of Srimad Bhagavatam as the spotless Purana. By studying this Bhagavatam, one will actually become very, very convinced about devotional service to Krishna. And another thing that Prabhupada mentions in the purport is one should not jump to the 10th canto of Bhagavatam. One should study cantos 1 to 9 properly, understand about Krishna, and then one should be able to relish the pastimes of Krishna described in the 10th canto. Somebody may ask, Prabhupada has already given Krishna book independent of Bhagavatam. So should we not read Krishna book before studying the first 9 cantos? No, it is not so. When Prabhupada writes Krishna book, he has also, along with pastimes, he has also supplemented the pastimes with philosophical understanding. So he has given commentaries also for those pastimes then and there. Therefore, Krishna book alone can also be studied, even if one has not begun the study of Bhagavatam, because Prabhupada has explained the philosophical points connected with each of those pastimes then and there in the Bhagavatam, in the Krishna book. Okay, let's go to the next two shlokas, text 13 and 14. Yada mrudhe kaurava sanjayanam वीरेश्वथो वीरगतिं गतेषु वृकोदरा गदाभिवंशा भग्नोरुदण्डे धृतराष्ट्रपुत्रे भर्तुप्रियं द्रौणिरिति स्म पश्यन् कृष्णासुतानां स्वपतां शिरांसि उपाहरद्विप्रियमेव तस्य जुगुप्सितं कर्म विगर्हयन्ति. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Suta Goswami continued, when the respective warriors of both camps, namely the Kauravas and the Pandavas, were killed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and the dead warriors obtained their deserved destinations, and when the son of Dhritarashtra fell down lamenting, his spine broken, being beaten by the club of Bhimasena, the son of Dronacharya, Ashwathama, beheaded the 5 sleeping sons of Draupadi and delivered them as a prize to his master, foolishly thinking that he would be pleased. Duryodhana, however, disapproved of the heinous act, and he was not pleased in the least. Purport. Transcendental topics of the activities of Lord Sri Krishna in the Srimad Bhagavatam begin from the end of the battle of Kurukshetra, where the Lord himself spoke about himself in the Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, both the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam are transcendental topics of Lord Krishna. The Gita is Krishna Katha, or topics of Krishna, because it is spoken by the Lord, and the Bhagavatam is also Krishna Katha because it is spoken about the Lord. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted everyone to be informed of both Krishna Kathas by his order. Lord Krishna Chaitanya is Krishna himself in the garb of a devotee of Krishna, and therefore the versions of both Lord Krishna and Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are identical. Lord Chaitanya desired that all who are born in India seriously understand such Krishna Kathas, and then, after full realization, preach the transcendental message to everyone in all parts of the world that will bring about the desired peace and prosperity of the stricken world. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport. So, two verses together, Prabhupada is commenting here. Yada mridhe kaurava srinjayanam. Yada, when, mridhe, in the battlefield, Kaurava, the party of Dhritarashtra, headed by Duryodhana and others, Srinjayanam, of the party of the Pandavas. Vireshu, atho Veera Gatim Gateshu. Vireshu means all the warriors. Veera Gatim Gateshu. They all attained Veera Gati, the destination deserved by the warriors. Gateshu, they obtained. Then Vrukodara, Vrukodara, we know this. Vrukodara is Lord is Bhima, the second Pandava. Avidha. So I had told about this. Vrukodara. Udara means belly. Vruka means a kind of fire. So within the belly of Bhima, uh, there is a fire, which is, uh, of course, in everybody's body there is a digestive fire. Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita, Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashritaha Pacham Anyam Annam Chaturvidha. Krishna says, I am situated in everybody's uh, stomach as the digestive fire known as Vaishvanara Agni. It is because of this Vaishvanara Agni that the food that we eat gets digested. And this Vaishvanara Agni is a representation of Krishna. Krishna says this in the Bhagavad Gita. So that means even for digesting the food that we eat, we have to depend on Krishna in the form of Vaishvanara Agni. But then Bhimasena, in him, apart from this Vaishvanara Agni, there is another kind of Agni present in his belly that is called Vruka, and which is, because of this, the hunger of Bhimasena is many, many times more than the hunger of an ordinary person. That is why there was a rule, it is explained in the Mahabharata. Whenever Kunti Devi would cook anything for the Pandavas, she would actually cook the entire meal, divide it into two halves. One half was reserved for Bhimasena, and the remaining half was distributed among the other Pandava brothers. This was the general daily routine that was followed by Kunti Devi in feeding her sons right from the childhood, because his belly has this very very uh, un intolerable, agni fire of hunger. So that is the point. So therefore, he's called Vrukodara. He's also called Vrukodara because he is the performer of Herculean tasks. He performs wonderful activities. So Vrukodara Avidha. Avidha means beaten. Gada Abhimarsha. Gada means by the club. Abhimarsha, lamenting. Bhagna Uru Dande. Uru Dande. So Uru Dande means the spinal cord, and it is also referring to the thighs of Duryodhana, which was broken by Bhimasena's gada, by his club. Bhagna means broken. So he was Abhimarsha, he was actually lamenting, and he was fallen on the ground. I'll take another 10-15 minutes. Vrukodara with the Gadabhimarsha, Bhagnoru Dande, Dhritarashtra Putre. So here Dhritarashtra Putre refers to son of King Dhritarashtra, that is Duryodhana. So Duryodhana What is this 4 verses talking about? At the end of the battle of Kurukshetra, on the 18th day, the last day of the battle of Kurukshetra, uh, when the final Gada Yuddha happened between Bhimasena and Duryodhana, Bhimasena, with his Gada, he broke the spine of Dhritarashtra, of the son of Dhritarashtra, that is Duryodhana, and Duryodhana was thus lamenting, and he had fallen down on the ground with so much pain, but he had not died. He was still uh, having life, but he was left like that so that he would lament all his sinful activities that he had done, because of which he is suffering intense pain now. Then what happened? Bhartu Priyam Drauniritisma Pashyan. So then what happened? Drauni means the son of Dronacharya, that is Ashwathama. He saw his master, Bhartuhu. Who is his master? Duryodhana. Pleasing, Priyam, pleasing, to please him. What did this Ashwathama do? He saw his master Duryodhana has fallen down in such a painful, pitiable condition. He's fallen on the ground and he's lamenting with so much pain, he's suffering. So that time, what did he do? Krishna Sutanam Swapatam Shiramsi Upaharat. Upahara means a gift or a prize. He thought, let this Duryodhana at least die peacefully. Now he's about to die now, so I should give him some gift so that he will peacefully leave the body. That was the thinking of Ashwathama. So what he did, he stealthily went to the Pandava camp. The Pandava camp was empty except for except for 6 people, the 5 sons of Draupadi and Draupadi's brother Drishtadyumna. Both of them were sleeping in 2 different tents. So this Ashwathama, along with Kritavarma and Kripacharya, all these 3 people, they were the only 3 people remaining from the Kaurava side. Everyone else were finished. So Ashwathama took it upon himself that now I should give some gift to my departing master to please him. So he went to the Pandava camp and he saw Krishna Sutanam. Krishna, that is feminine gender, refers to Draupadi. In Mahabharata, there are 4 Krishnas. One Krishna is Vasudeva Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Another Krishna is Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa, that is Vyasadeva. Another Krishna is Arjuna. One of the 10 names of Arjuna is Krishna. And then there is a feminine gender Krishna, that is Draupadi. There are 4 Krishnas in the Mahabharata. So the idea is Mahabharata, the author is Krishna, the main Sutradhari is Krishna, the main hero is Krishna, the immediate cause for the battle of Kurukshetra is also Krishna. These 4 Krishnas are very important in Mahabharata. That's why they are called Krishna. All of them are called Krishna. So here, Krishna Sutanam, Swapatam. What were they all doing? They were all sleeping. Swapatam, they were all sleeping. And Shiramsi Upaharat. So he actually brought their heads, he cut off their heads, the 5 sons of the Upapandavas, the sons of Pandavas and Draupadi. He brought them as a gift to this dying Duryodhana. And it is said here, Vipriyam eva tasya, Vipriyam, to please him he brought. But then, Jugupsitam karma vigrahayanti, he disapproved. Duryodhana was not very pleased with this gift. Oh, what is this? You have done such a heinous act. Jugupsitam karma means heinous act. You have killed, like a coward, you have killed these small boys when they were sleeping. So this is not approved by me, Duryodhana said like this. And Duryodhana died in that pain. He died in that pain, it is said. So he disapproved Ashwathama's heinous act and it was not at all pleased. So that is what this verse says. So this verse begins. This chapter is called The Son of Drona Punished. So the main topic of this chapter is coming from here, from this shloka. So Ashwathama did this heinous act of killing uh, the sons of Pandavas. And he brought their heads as a gift to the dying Duryodhana, thinking that he will be pleased, but he was actually not at all pleased. So Prabhupada explains in the purport, uh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted everyone to be informed, educated in two Krishna kathas, Krishnasya katha and Krishnena katha. Krishnena katha means the katha spoken by Krishna, that is Bhagavad Gita. Krishnasya katha means the katha spoken about Krishna, that is Srimad Bhagavatam. Yare dekho tare kaho Krishna Upadesh. This is the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Whomever you see, whomever you meet, please tell them about Krishna Upadesh. Tell them Krishna Katha. And it means both Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, as Prabhupada is confirming here in this purport. So, uh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire was that anybody who is taken birth in this India, in this holy land of India, should seriously understand both these Krishna Kathas and then with full realization preach the transcendental message to everyone, all in all parts of the world. That will bring about the desired peace and prosperity of the stricken world. That's what Prabhupada says here. So, we are so fortunate that we have received the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through Srila Prabhupada. His order has been fulfilled by Srila Prabhupada of canvassing Krishna Katha all over the world. And we also have an opportunity. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission is still not complete. There are so many people, there are millions and millions of billions of people in this world who are still not aware of Krishna Katha, of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order is still very much relevant to each one of us today. Bharata bhumite manushya janma loilo yar, janma sarthaka kari karo paropakar. Anybody who has taken birth in this holy land of Bharatavarsha, Mahaprabhu said, you have two important functions. You have to perform Krishna conscious activities, take up bhakti, and make your life successful. At the same time, you should also share this sublime message with one and all. So that message, that order of Mahaprabhu is still very much relevant for all of us, because all of us have taken birth in India, and we are, by mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we are trying to practice Krishna consciousness, attain realization. Side by side, we must also preach the message of Krishna consciousness. This is the order of Mahaprabhu. So therefore, this is the much needed social service activity that is required for the world today, for world peace and prosperity. So let us all, yesterday we celebrated Vyasa Puja. Now celebrating Vyasa Puja means, of course, glorifying Srila Prabhupada, but also pledging that I shall take part in the mission of Srila Prabhupada. I shall do my bit to serve my spiritual master's mission, to fulfill his desire that everybody should become Krishna conscious. So there are a lot of people in and around us, staying, whom we interact with each other every day, whom we meet, whom we talk to, whom we converse with, whom we deal with. Somehow or the other way, we should think how to make these people at least little bit appreciative of Krishna. That we should always be thinking. Whenever a devotee meets anybody, devotee thinks how to make this person come in touch with Krishna, somehow or the other, through giving Prabhupada's books, through giving prasadam, through giving some, inviting for temple festivals, association, something or the other. I should give something about Krishna to this person. So we should all think like this. Then only we can call ourselves as Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Gaudiya, followers of Mahaprabhu. Gaudiya Vaishnavas thinking is how to make everyone come closer to Krishna, how to give them Hare Krishna mantra. This is the mood of our parampara. So therefore, the real tribute to Srila Prabhupada on Vyasa Puja would be if we can make a resolve that first of all, I will myself become more serious in following the instructions of Srila Prabhupada. Secondly, I will every day try to bring at least one person one step closer to Krishna. If you can make these two commitments to Srila Prabhupada, that would be the greatest tribute to Srila Prabhupada, which will make Srila Prabhupada smile at you, become pleased with you. So, we will try to understand more about this interesting incident. What happened after this? After the sons of Draupadi were killed, and how does Draupadi react when she gets to know her sons were killed? How does she think what punishment should be given to Ashwathama who actually did this heinous act? And what is Krishna's suggestion in this connection? So, all these are very interesting topics which give us many interesting lessons. So, we will discuss them in the coming sessions. Thank you very much for your valuable time. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, विश्व गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.